Kidney doctor warns, the hidden kidney killer in your kitchen. Most people consume it daily. A silent danger may lurk in many kitchens, a substance frequently consumed, yet often considered harmless. This pervasive element, ingested regularly, can subtly damage the kidneys over time, leading to severe consequences, particularly in adults who often only become aware when the damage is significant. This discussion aims to shed light on substances quietly affecting kidney health, many of which are part of daily routines. It's an opportunity to understand their destructive power and learn how to safeguard kidney function before irreversible harm occurs. Preventing illness, especially kidney damage, is paramount, as many individuals face preventable kidney issues that diminish their quality of life. Kidneys are unsung heroes, diligently performing as the body's sophisticated filtration system around the clock. They meticulously filter all blood, removing toxins, waste products, and excess fluids. Beyond filtration, kidneys play crucial roles in regulating blood pressure, aiding in the production of red blood cells to prevent anemia, and maintaining strong bones. They are fundamental to the proper functioning of virtually every other system in the body. However, the insidious nature of kidney failure lies in its stealth. There are often no immediate alarms or sharp pains to signal trouble. Chronic kidney disease is a slow, creeping condition that develops over many years. By the time overt symptoms like swollen ankles, persistent exhaustion, or muscle cramps manifest, the damage can be extensive and, in some cases, irreversible. Many individuals, especially older adults, only discover significant kidney damage at advanced stages, often facing daunting treatments such as dialysis or kidney transplantation. A common lament is the lack of prior warning about everyday factors that quietly undermine kidney health. Understanding these silent aggressors is essential, empowering individuals to take proactive steps to protect themselves. Several hidden threats to kidney health warrant attention, ranging from widely common to profoundly detrimental. Gaining insight into these factors can significantly alter one's health trajectory. A critical point to grasp is that vulnerability to these damaging influences naturally increases with age. Just as other bodily functions like vision may decline or hair may gray, kidneys also age, experiencing a gradual reduction in their filtering capacity, known as the glomerular filtration rate, with each passing decade. Consider this decline like the engine of a high-mileage car. It still runs, but not with the same robust power as when it was new. If such an aging engine is consistently supplied with low-quality fuel and forced to perform under strenuous conditions daily, it will inevitably experience premature failure. This analogy mirrors how many individuals, often unknowingly, treat their kidneys over 50, 60, or 70 years. Exposure to seemingly harmless elements in youth can leave microscopic scars that accumulate over time, and this cumulative effect is what can ultimately lead to kidney failure. Furthermore, the prevalence of hypertension, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes typically rises with age. It is important to emphasize that these two conditions are the leading causes of chronic kidney disease globally. They act like persistent stressors, continually striking and damaging the delicate structures within the kidneys. Consequently, anything that contributes to or exacerbates diabetes and hypertension directly compromises kidney health. To clarify these threats, a list of 4 significant contributors to kidney damage will be presented, starting with one that is neither eaten nor drunk, yet is equally harmful, and progressing to the most dangerous, addictive, and widespread factor of all. Poison number 4, sedentary behavior, stagnant water that suffocates your kidneys. The first factor on this list, number 4, might seem surprising because it doesn't involve something consumed. Instead, it concerns something many fail to do: move. Sedentary behavior, characterized by prolonged periods of sitting, whether watching television or working in front of a screen, is a significant concern. The question often arises: how does sitting relate to kidney health? The answer is fundamental to kidney function. Kidneys depend heavily on a strong, healthy blood flow to perform their vital work. Envision a powerful, flowing river, its waters rushing with force, carrying everything along and maintaining clarity. Now contrast that with a stagnant puddle where mud accumulates, decay sets in, and the water becomes toxic. Your circulatory system is akin to that flowing river. When you engage in movement such as walking, your heart pumps more vigorously, and blood flows robustly throughout your entire body, reaching the millions of tiny filters within your kidneys. This enhanced blood flow provides the kidneys with the optimal power needed to cleanse your body effectively. However, when you sit for extended periods, everything slows down. Blood flow becomes sluggish, much like water in a stagnant puddle. This reduced circulation creates an ideal environment for the development of major kidney enemies: obesity, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. Lack of movement impairs the body's ability to efficiently utilize blood sugar, leading to insulin resistance and, eventually, diabetes. Inactivity also promotes weight gain, which forces the heart to work harder and elevates blood pressure. Each additional kilogram of body weight places an extra burden on your kidneys. The solution to sedentary behavior is simple: movement. There's no need to aspire to be an Olympic athlete overnight. The path to better health is much simpler and accessible to everyone. The first step is to interrupt long periods of sitting. If your routine involves extended seated periods, make it a point to stand up regularly. Setting a timer on your phone to remind you every hour can be very effective. Get up, walk around the room, get a glass of water, or simply stretch your arms. These small acts immediately reactivate circulation. The next step involves incorporating a daily walk. This doesn't require a marathon. Start with just 10 minutes around the block, gradually increasing to 15 minutes the following week. The crucial element is consistency, not extreme intensity. Walking is widely recognized as one of the best forms of exercise. It benefits the heart, helps control blood sugar levels, strengthens bones, and, importantly, ensures a healthy blood flow to your kidneys. For those with mobility challenges, numerous effective chair exercises are available, such as moving arms, lifting legs, or rotating ankles. Every small movement contributes positively. The guiding principle is that any movement is superior to none. Remember the river analogy. Every step taken is like a fresh wave of clean water for your kidneys. Poison number 3, the deception of harmless painkillers. Moving to the third factor, this particular element is frequently found in nearly every household medicine cabinet, often taken without much thought for common ailments like headaches, back pain, or arthritis. This refers to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, commonly known as NSAIDs. Names such as ibuprofen, naproxen, and diclofenac are widely recognized. Millions of people use these medications, often under the impression that because they are available over the counter, they are entirely harmless. This widespread belief, however, masks a significant deception. While NSAIDs are highly effective in alleviating pain, their chronic or frequent use or consumption in high doses can be profoundly detrimental to the kidneys, especially for older adults. To understand why, consider that for kidneys to receive a strong blood flow, the body produces substances called prostaglandins, which keep the tiny renal arteries open. The problem is that NSAIDs work by blocking these very prostaglandins throughout the body to reduce pain. Unfortunately, they do not discriminate. They also block the prostaglandins essential for protecting kidney function. The consequence is that the arteries within the kidneys constrict and narrow, significantly reducing the blood and oxygen supply reaching them. This effect can be visualized as stepping on a garden hose that waters a plant. The plant receives insufficient water and begins to wilt. A similar process occurs in the kidneys. The real danger, however, lies in the silent nature of this damage. Taking these pills daily for chronic pain, such as from arthritis, is akin to repeatedly stepping on and releasing that hose day after day. Over time, the kidney filters suffer damage, scar, and gradually cease to function. This is a slow, progressive process that often presents no noticeable symptoms until the damage is advanced. The solution involves a judicious approach to both pain management and medication use. The aim is certainly not to ignore pain, as quality of life is paramount. Rather, the strategy is to be informed and, crucially, to consult with a healthcare professional. First and foremost, never self-medicate with NSAIDs on a chronic basis. If pain persists for more than a few days, the appropriate response is not to continue taking pills, but to seek medical advice to identify the underlying cause. The objective is to address the root issue, not simply silence the symptom. Second, always be transparent with your doctor about all medications you are taking, including vitamins, herbal remedies, and other over-the-counter drugs. Many cold or sleep remedies, for instance, contain hidden NSAIDs. Third, consider alternatives for occasional pain relief. Paracetamol, also known as acetaminophen, is generally a safer option for the kidneys when taken in correct doses. Furthermore, explore non-pharmacological approaches to pain management. Physical therapy, applying heat or cold, and stretching exercises can be remarkably effective and reduce the reliance on painkillers. The golden rule is that NSAIDs are potent medications. Using them without careful consideration can severely compromise kidney health. While occasional use may be acceptable, daily dependence without medical supervision is a risky gamble with your kidneys. Poison number 2, salt, the invisible enemy in your food. Moving on to the second factor, salt, or more accurately sodium, is arguably the most underestimated threat to kidney health. It is a staple in every kitchen worldwide. Many individuals might assert, "But I hardly use the salt shaker." This highlights a significant misunderstanding. The primary concern isn't typically the salt added at the table, but rather the substantial amount of hidden sodium present in processed foods. Estimates suggest that over 75% of the sodium consumed comes from packaged and prepared foods, not from a salt shaker. This hidden sodium is pervasive, found in items like bread, deli meats, various cheeses, canned soups, sauces, and frozen meals. Virtually anything that comes in a package. The food industry incorporates sodium extensively to enhance product shelf life and improve taste, making it an invisible aggressor. Why is this so harmful? While the body requires a small amount of sodium for proper function, an excessive intake disrupts this delicate balance. To dilute the surplus sodium, the body retains fluids, inducing thirst and signaling the kidneys to conserve every drop of water. The consequence is an increase in the volume of blood circulating in the arteries, which in turn causes blood pressure to surge. This phenomenon, in simple terms, is high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney failure. The kidney filters themselves are an intricate network of minuscule blood vessels. Envision attempting to clean a delicate silk fabric with a fire hose operating at full pressure. The fabric would be destroyed. This analogy precisely illustrates what chronic hypertension does to your kidneys day after day. It damages, scars, and ultimately destroys them in a relentless, vicious cycle. Protecting oneself from this pervasive hidden element requires a fundamental shift in mindset. It's not about consuming bland food, but rather about making informed, intelligent dietary choices. The most potent tool at your disposal is learning to meticulously read food labels. Turn over food packages and actively look for the term sodium. You will likely be astonished by the sodium content in foods that don't even taste overtly salty, such as certain cereals or cookies. The general recommendation is to limit sodium intake to no more than 2,300 milligrams per day. For individuals already diagnosed with high blood pressure, the target should be even lower, around 1,500 milligrams. A second effective strategy is to increase home cooking, where you have complete control over ingredients and seasoning. Third, reacquaint yourself with the richness of natural flavors. Nature provides an extensive array of herbs and spices that can transform any dish. Garlic, onion, various peppers, oregano, rosemary, turmeric, cumin, and paprika are excellent choices. Lemon and vinegar also serve as fantastic additions for imparting flavor without adding a single pinch of sodium. One practical tip: if you purchase canned vegetables, rinse them thoroughly under running water. This simple action can significantly reduce the amount of added sodium. Within a few weeks, your taste buds will recalibrate, allowing you to genuinely appreciate the authentic flavors of food, a truly liberating experience. The worst poison, sugar, and refined flour, the deadly sweet duo. Finally, the discussion turns to the ultimate culprit. Previous points covered sedentary behavior, painkillers, and hidden salt, all formidable adversaries. However, the element now presented is widely considered the number one threat, the undisputed champion of silent destruction, the most addictive, most pervasive in modern diets, and the cause of the most devastating damage to kidney health. This particular menace is not a rare chemical, but something commonly associated with celebrations, rewards, and expressions of affection. It refers to sugar and its inseparable partner, refined flour. This includes not only the sweet white powder, desserts, and soft drinks, but also white bread, many pastas, and cookies. These two substances, in combination, are a leading reason why diabetes stands as the number one cause of kidney failure globally. This pattern is unfortunately observed repeatedly in clinical practice, often leading patients down the path to dialysis. The reason for such directness on this topic is clear. Sugar and refined flour, which the body almost instantly converts to sugar, do not merely launch a single attack. Instead, they initiate a massive, coordinated assault from multiple fronts. Attack Front 1: the direct highway to diabetes. Diabetes is the foremost cause of kidney failure, and the excessive consumption of sugars and refined flours is the primary driver behind type 2 diabetes. When these are ingested, they trigger a rapid surge of glucose in the bloodstream. The pancreas then works overtime, releasing insulin to manage this influx. If this happens consistently every day, cells begin to resist the insulin and sugar remains elevated in the blood. This is how type 2 diabetes develops. Once blood sugar levels are chronically high, the damage to the kidneys is brutal. High sugar essentially caramelizes the kidney filters, causing them to stiffen and eventually destroying them. This condition is known as diabetic nephropathy, a swift route to dialysis. Attack Front 2: hypertension. While salt was traditionally considered the main culprit for high blood pressure, current understanding reveals that sugar is equally, if not more, detrimental to blood pressure regulation. A diet rich in sugar significantly raises blood pressure. Therefore, even diligent control of salt intake may not prevent kidney damage if sugar consumption remains high. Attack Front 3: silent inflammation. Sugar acts like an internal fire for the body, instigating low-grade chronic inflammation. This inflammation damages the inner lining of all arteries, including the intricate tiny vessels within the kidneys, impairing their function over time. Attack Front 4: obesity and fatty liver. Any excess sugar not immediately used for energy is converted into fat. This accumulation of fat leads to obesity, a known risk factor for kidney disease. Furthermore, fat can deposit in the liver, leading to fatty liver disease, a condition that disrupts metabolism and further harms kidney health. As evident, this constitutes a comprehensive assault on the body, underscoring why it is considered the most significant threat. The encouraging news is that individuals can actively combat this formidable foe by taking back control. Knowledge is the most powerful tool. First, recognize that sugar appears under many different names: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose, and many others are all simply disguises for the same detrimental substance. Second, eliminate the most obvious sources of sugar. Sugary drinks, such as sodas, industrial juices, and sweetened teas, are essentially liquid sugar. A single can of soda can contain more than 10 teaspoons of sugar. Replace these with water, sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon, or unsweetened herbal infusions. This simple change is arguably the single most impactful adjustment one can make. Third, exercise caution with low-fat products. Often, when fat is removed from a product, it is replaced with sugar to maintain palatability. Always opt for natural, unadulterated versions. For example, choose plain yogurt and add fresh fruit. yourself rather than purchasing pre-flavored, sugar-laden varieties. Fourth, substitute white flour with whole grains, genuine whole grain bread, brown rice, and rolled oats. The fiber in whole grains slows down sugar absorption and promotes overall digestive health. Finally, embrace real, whole foods, a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, legumes, lean meats, fish, eggs, and nuts. When your diet is fundamentally based on whole foods, the problematic intake of sugar and refined flours naturally diminishes. Breaking free from the grip of sugar is arguably the most potent act of defense for your kidneys. This discussion has embarked on an important journey, uncovering 4 silent threats that jeopardize kidney health. Sedentary behavior, which slows circulation, certain painkillers, NSAIDs, that can constrict kidney blood vessels, hidden salt, which elevates blood pressure, and sugar and refined flours, which launch a full-scale attack on multiple bodily systems. It is natural to feel a degree of overwhelm, but the objective is not to instill fear, but to empower. The truth, even when challenging, is the only foundation for making better, informed decisions about health. Chronic kidney disease does not have to be an inevitable fate. Each of these detrimental influences is, to a significant extent, within your control. You choose whether to stand up and move. You decide whether to consult a healthcare professional about persistent pain. You choose whether to scrutinize food labels. You decide whether to opt for water over a sugary drink. The goal is not to overhaul everything overnight, but to commit to one small positive step today and another tomorrow. Every minor adjustment is a victory. Every home-cooked meal, every short walk, is another brick added to the protective wall safeguarding your kidneys. You possess the inherent power to rewrite your health story. If this information has been enlightening or prompted reflection, sharing it with others, family, friends, or partners is a valuable act, as life-saving knowledge should circulate widely. Your kidneys tirelessly work for you every second of every day. In return, making conscious, healthy choices for them is a profound way to reciprocate. By caring for your kidneys, you are truly caring for your life.